The Rock's status update on WrestleMania. The WWE brutally attacked by fans over Unreal merch. WWE Unreal continues to reveal something very important. Why Rusev has suddenly disappeared from WWE, Seth Rollins reveals his truth on Paul Heyman, a star arrested on air, and much, much more. Let's start off with the WWE brutally attacked by fans over Unreal merch. Some WWE fans couldn't wait for Unreal's second season to premiere on Netflix. That being said, other fans weren't too thrilled about the fact that the Netflix show now has merchandise. WWE saw pushback online after releasing merchandise tied to Season 2 of Unreal, the company's Netflix reality series. The rollout's post on Instagram quickly drew attention in the comments, where fans focused less on the show and more on the merch itself. One comment read, "Who the F is buying merch for this show?" Another user echoed that reaction, writing, "Okay, who's buying this?" The responses stacked up as the post stayed live, with fans openly questioning the demand for products connected to the series. Other comments focused on the execution. One user wrote, "Wow, y'all put zero effort into that merch, my lord." Another suggested the design could work with changes, saying, "Just this image would absolutely slap, can you get rid of the show title?" The reaction showed a clear disconnect between the release and fan interest. While Unreal continues as part of WWE's Netflix push, the early response to its Season 2 merchandise suggested fans were not sold on turning the show into something they would wear. The second season of Unreal revealed a lot of information for fans. Season 3 is also already on the way. Only time will tell what WWE pulls off next in terms of merchandise, but this drop for Unreal Season 2 didn't hit a home run with a lot of fans. What's your take on WWE Unreal on Netflix? Do you think this merchandise is appealing? WWE Unreal continues to reveal something very important. Vince Russo is taking aim at WWE Unreal, and he's not pulling any punches. The former WWE head writer hopped on Twitter to trash the Netflix docuseries, accusing current wrestlers of being overly obsessed with the business and missing the real point of life. While WWE Unreal has gotten praise for peeling back the curtain on the emotional toll of the industry, Russo thinks it proves one thing: wrestlers are their own worst problem. With every episode I watch of WWE Unreal on Netflix, the more and more it becomes abundantly clear that the biggest wrestling marks in the wrestling business are in the ring. Russo went off on wrestlers who treat pro wrestling as their top priority, accusing them of putting it above faith, family, and their own mental health. When you are putting wrestling as the #1 priority in your life and the most important thing above everything else, including your sick family, your kids, your physical health, your mental well-being, and most importantly, God, you are a mark. He didn't stop there. Russo made it clear that passion isn't an excuse. He sees it as delusion. And in classic Russo fashion, he ended it with a jab at the maturity of today's talent. "I don't want to hear how much you love it. You are a mark. Quite frankly, I feel sorry for you because you are missing the things that actually do matter in life. But one day, when you grow up and mature, you will understand that it's not all about you, whether you agree with him or not." Russo's comments throw gasoline on an already heated conversation around the Unreal series. For some, it's a necessary inside look at the real struggles talent face. For Russo, it's just proof that wrestlers are still marks for themselves. Do you think Vince Russo made a fair point, or is he just stuck in the past? Why Rusev has suddenly disappeared from WWE. Rusev hasn't wrestled on TV for 2 months now, and fans are understandably concerned if WWE has yet again given up on him. A new report by PW Insider suggests that the company didn't want the Bulgarian brute get wasted on TV, and as such, pulled him from their programming until they chalk out new plans for him. Rusev returned to the global juggernaut after nearly 5 years amid much fanfare in April last year. Though he hasn't tasted any championship success, the former US champion has been booked dominantly. That said, he hasn't wrestled since losing to Jey Uso in the Last Time Is Now tournament in November last year. Many have wondered if it was another example of a talented performer becoming a forgotten name in WWE's crowded roster. However, Mike Johnson of PW Insider has given a reassuring reason for Rusev, as well as Street Profits' absence. He noted that WWE consciously wanted to avoid wasting such big names in pointless feuds and preferred to keep them away until they had concrete plans for them. In an interview late last year with TMZ's Inside the Ring, Rusev's wife Lana confessed that she was a big fan of romantic storylines and wanted to see her husband be involved in one on TV. She then pitched Nia Jax and Lash Legend as potential names who could be paired with the Bulgarian brute. I love romantic storylines. Like, if I was the person writing the shows, there would be more soap opera stories. And Rusev for sure would be in a romantic angle by now. I think it would be great for him to be in a romantic storyline with Nia Jax or Lash Legend. Maybe he could have a tag team, and he could be in a romantic storyline with both of them. Rusev himself is no stranger to romantic angles, as he was a part of the infamous storyline involving himself, Lana, Liv Morgan, and Bobby Lashley in early 2020. Seth Rollins reveals his truth on Paul Heyman. Seth Rollins shared his honest thoughts on Paul Heyman. The Oracle joined forces with the Visionary at WrestleMania 41 before betraying him on the Raw after WWE Crown Jewel 2025. During a recent appearance on the My Mom's Basement podcast hosted by Robbie Fox, the former World Heavyweight Champion stated that Paul Heyman is both a Seth Rollins guy and also his worst enemy. He noted that the WWE Hall of Famer understands business like no one else, and he always aligned himself with stars who do not want to leave the top. Paul's interesting. Paul has always been a Seth Rollins guy, but he's always in some ways been my worst enemy. Because you see, who Paul has aligned himself with in the past, both on-screen and off-screen, it's guys like Brock Lesnar, and it's guys like Roman Reigns who, when they take a top position, don't want to let it go. Paul is very smart. He understands this business at a level I don't think very many people do. He's been in the industry for pushing 50 years now, and he's seen it all, done it all. So he understands that part of the business, Rollins said. Seth Rollins added that although Paul Heyman respected him, the 60-year-old was annoyed that he tried to take the top spot away from the Paul Heyman guys. He added that his former The Vision stablemate knows what's best for business, and the latter is also aware of how much Rollins cares for professional wrestling. He added that they have an interesting relationship with a lot of mutual respect. I always felt like, with him, he was a thorn in my side, or he was part of the glass ceiling that I had to try and push through at the upper echelon. And I was always the guy where he respected me, but he was annoyed that I was trying to take the spot from the guys he was with, so there was always a push and pull there. At the end of the day, Paul always wants to do what is going to be best for business. He wants to do what will make the most money, whether that's for him or for the business itself, and I think he sees how much I care about the industry and the future of it. So there's definitely a synergistic relationship there, because I think we have the same end goals, but sometimes getting to that end game, there's a bit of, we're gonna butt heads to get there. It's an interesting relationship. It's certainly one of immense mutual respect. I would say, Rollins added. Seth Rollins sustained a shoulder injury last year. The former WWE champion had to undergo surgery to deal with it. The Visionary spoke about his injury in a recent interview with Complex News. Rollins noted that he went under the knife nearly 3 months ago and was able to do most of the normal things now. The former member of the Shield added that although he was not sure about when he was going to make his return, he was surely headed in the right direction. Only time will tell when Seth Rollins makes his return to the squared circle. AEW star was the first to know about Seth Rollins' secret relationship. Former WWE champion Seth Rollins revealed that a current AEW star was one of the first people to know about his secret relationship. Rollins suffered an injury last year at Crown Jewel and was forced to relinquish the World Heavyweight Championship. Speaking with Barstool Sports' Robbie Fox on the My Mom's Basement podcast, Seth Rollins disclosed that former WWE interviewer Renee Young, now known as Renee Paquette in AEW, was one of the first people to know about his relationship with Becky Lynch. The Visionary shared that Renee Young stated that they were perfect for each other when she heard the news. One of the first people I remember telling about it, she doesn't work with us anymore. Renee Young, Mrs. Moxley. She was like, of course. Yes, of course, absolutely. How did I not see it? How did I not get it? It's perfect, said Rollins. Renee Paquette responded to the clip and shared that everything made sense once she heard that Rollins and Lynch were dating. Confirmed. Mind was blown, and then it all made sense, she wrote. Becky Lynch is the reigning women's Intercontinental Champion, and she successfully defended the title against Maxine Dupree last night on WWE Raw. Natalya interfered in the match and cost Dupree her opportunity at the title. Seth Rollins recently opened up about his issues with the WWE Unreal show on Netflix. The show's second season was released on Netflix today, and Rollins disclosed his issues with it during an appearance on Busted Open Radio earlier this month. The architect stated that he was old school and wanted the backstage secrets to be protected. I'm under 40 still, but I have like an old school mentality. So for me to be pushed to the point of having to break kayfabe, it hurts me a bit. It's difficult, but I will say there are some things I want to protect because I do believe the gray area in our business is what makes this special. That believability, he said. It will be interesting to see what the company has planned for Seth Rollins when he returns to the ring down the line. Roxanne Perez receives praise for working around being banged up. She reportedly received praise backstage for her recent work. The star recently competed in several matches. According to PW Insider, the Judgment Day's Roxanne Perez received a lot of praise for working around being banged up. The former NXT Women's Champion wrestled multiple matches at house shows during the recent Europe tour. It was further reported that the 24-year-old star was not dealing with any major injury. Roxanne Perez and fellow stablemate Liv Morgan are all set to challenge Rhea Ripley and Sky for the WWE Women's Tag Team Championship at the upcoming edition of Saturday night's main event. Last night on Raw, the duo, with assistance from Raquel Rodriguez, attacked the babyfaces. Former Women's World Champion Liv Morgan spoke very highly of Roxanne Perez, during a recent appearance on Raw Recap. During her conversation with Sam Roberts and Megan Morant, the Judgment Day member claimed that under her supervision, the prodigy was going to transform into the greatest of all time. The 31-year-old added that she was nurturing Perez to be the next greatest star after her. She did lose the titles rather quickly, and that's why she's my young, because now, under my tutelage, she's going to grow and be neutered into the greatest of all time after my time. After I go, Liv continued, I am shaping my little Roxy to be the next greatest. The next big challenge for Liv Morgan and Roxanne Perez will be to dethrone Rhea Ripley and Sky to bring the WWE Women's Tag Team Championship back to the Judgment Day. Their stablemate, Raquel Rodriguez, on the other hand, has her eyes set on the Women's World Championship. She is likely to challenge for the gold as soon as the champion, Stephanie Vaquer, gets medically cleared to compete. Chad Gable returns after 7 months. A major WWE star could be returning as soon as next week's edition of Raw. Chad Gable has not been in action on WWE Raw since his loss to AJ Styles on June 9, 2025. Gable suffered a rotator cuff injury last year and underwent surgery. He was also portraying El Grande Americano during the time of the injury, but that role has since been taken over by Ludwig Kaiser. According to a new report from Mike Johnson of PWI Insider, the former champion could be making his return as soon as next Monday's edition of Raw at the Scotiabank Arena in Toronto, Canada. The promotion is building towards Royal Rumble 2026 on January 31st in Saudi Arabia. Several stars announced that they would be competing in the Royal Rumble during last night's episode of Raw, and CM Punk defeated the Judgment Day's Finn Balor to retain the World Heavyweight Championship in the main event of the show. Wrestling icon Kurt Angle recently praised Chad Gable and suggested that the company should get behind him. Speaking on the Ariel Helwani show, the Hall of Famer noted that he was happy for Chad Gable's success in WWE. However, he claimed that his size was what was holding him back and stated that the company should push him anyway. I think he's great. I'm happy that he was able to find his niche. I know it's kind of identical to mine, but if it works for him, I'm happy for him. I think, regardless of whether he did my character or anybody else's, I think the kid's incredibly talented. I think he would have succeeded either way. You know the problem with him? I think it's only because The Office, WWE, looks at him like this. But he's a little undersized, but that's not an excuse. Chris Benoit was 5'9". Eddie Guerrero was 5'8". Rey Mysterio is 5'5". So someone like Chad could definitely be a main eventer, Angle said. It will be interesting to see what the company has planned for Chad Gable moving forward. The star arrested live on air. A WWE star was arrested live on air tonight. This comes after he attacked several stars in recent weeks. Ever since Tony D'Angelo returned from his hiatus, he has come unhinged. He has attacked several stars, and it's still hard to figure out if he is a babyface or a heel. Last week on NXT, he showed up during Joe Hendry's match against Dion Lennox and attacked the latter. Tony then attacked Joe Hendry and made him pin Lennox in a confusing finish. Tonight on the Black and Silver brand, Tony D'Angelo showed up after Shiloh Hill's match against Josh Briggs and attacked both men. Following this match, Ava called the police officers to nab Tony. Despite this, Tony showed up after Shawn Legacy's match against Eli Knight and attacked both men. Following this assault, Ava came out with law enforcement officers. Tony didn't put up a fight against them and allowed himself to be arrested. Obafemi shocked the world 2 weeks ago when he relinquished his NXT championship and seemingly moved up to the main roster. This opened a huge opportunity on NXT for several stars to step up and fill the void left by the ruler. Last week on the Black and Silver brand, Ava announced a 6-man ladder match to crown the new NXT champion. She announced a couple of qualifier matches tonight. Ricky Saints automatically qualified for the ladder since he beat Obafemi in the past. Tonight, Shiloh Hill qualified by defeating Josh Briggs, while Shawn Legacy qualified with a win over Eli Knight. This means that only a few more spots remain in the ladder match. Next week, WWE NXT will hold the remaining qualifying matches. It remains to be seen who will become the next NXT champion. The Rock's status update on WrestleMania. WrestleMania 43 is set to take place in Saudi Arabia. The Rock has provided an update on his status for the event. WrestleMania is WWE's biggest PLE of the year. Every year, the company builds for the show months in advance. Next year, WWE will be hosting WrestleMania 43 in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia for the first time ever. Given that this could be one of the biggest WrestleManias ever, many fans are expecting the show to feature some major stars and legends. During an interview with Rafi Bogosian, The Rock was asked about his status for WrestleMania 43. The WWE legend replied that he's been having conversations about the event, but didn't confirm if he will be present at the show. Well, I can tell you that I'm excited for the brand of WrestleMania. I'm excited for the Kingdom, because that is a big show. And I'm also excited not only for the brand, but I'm excited for our athletes to be able to participate in an event like that, and that is a global event. And so I can't wait. In terms of the conversations I've been having, well, it's all good. It will always be good. The Rock was recently nominated for a Golden Globe Award for Best Male Actor in a Motion Picture, drama for his role as Mark Kerr in The Smashing Machine. However, the award went to Wagner Moura for his role in The Secret Agent. A week after his loss, the Great One took to social media to send a message to his followers on Instagram. If you can dream it, you can do it. Unforgettable night. Positive energy, vibes, and mana with the ones I love, respect, and admire the most. Dream come true. Till we meet again, Rocky wrote, "It will be interesting to see if the final boss will appear at WrestleMania 43.